Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Today on drboycetv.com, we're going to talk about Paramount, the company that owns BET. Apparently, Paramount is having some significant financial problems. It looks like Zaddy is struggling financially, and I'm going to tell you exactly why they're struggling, what's going on, how this is going to affect you, and just a few other things that come to mind. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt, hit the thumbs up button. Also, let me know, give me a yes if you can hear me. Give me a quick yes in the chat to let me know my audio's good. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I hope you guys are doing well. Do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay, and we can get the party started. All right. So anyway, I want to say good morning to all of my intelligent Black people that are tuning in today. This podcast is on Spotify, by the way. And who do I see in here? I see Terry Cobb and Patrick White and Chris Goodjoin. Good to see you. And Anthony, good to see you. Tony Brown, Tara Redmond, Laughing King, Minister Schultz out of Miami. Good to see you, brother. I'm jealous because of that wonderful weather you have in Miami. All right. So anyway, how many of you know who owns BET? Does anybody else know that BET is not a Black-owned network? Please say yes, because I'm hoping that we all understand this, because a lot of us think BET is actually Black entertainment television, when really it's not BET, it's WET. It's not BET, it's WET, right? So WET. Wet ass television, that's what it is. WET stands for White Entertainment Television, because this is a vision that was created by other people for what they think Black people are supposed to be doing. This is not Black culture. This is a white manifestation of Black culture, using specific highly paid Negroes to pursue their agenda. And I think it's very important to understand that from an economic standpoint. It doesn't mean everything BET does is bad. It just means that that they're not necessarily on whole good for the Black community, in my opinion. The company is run by Paramount, which is heavily influenced by the Sumner Redstone family. They have a lot of assets. I got a list of a few of them here, including BET. They also own MTV, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, the Country Music Channel. They have streaming service Paramount Plus. Also, they have some international channels. They have partnerships with companies like AMC, etc. And the list goes on and on and on. So this company is apparently right now the benefactor of the BET so-called empire, is struggling when it comes to money. Right now, they are in deep doo-doo when it comes to the amount of debt that they have. Their debt levels are just kind of high. And a lot of that is because, sometimes the access to capital, which is something that I wish Black-owned businesses had, that access to capital can be a big problem. Right now, Paramount is sitting on so much debt that people are wondering if they're going to be able to really pay their bills. Paramount Plus, a streaming service, has been growing like crazy. They've been getting lots of subscribers with these great Taylor Sheridan shows and whatever that they've been putting up there. But the problem is that in business, your revenues have to exceed your expenses. So despite the fact that Paramount is growing like crazy, is still enduring significant losses every single quarter, and this puts BET in jeopardy. It shouldn't surprise you that BET was on the chopping block. I have no idea why they didn't sell it to Tyler Perry. I can understand why they didn't want to sell it to Diddy. I don't think Diddy buying BET would have been very good, but Tyler Perry or Byron Allen, I think, could have been great buyers for BET. I have no idea where that was going. Now, right now, they have about $17 billion in debt, which is an insane amount of money. That's a lot relative to their revenue, which is not nearly at a level that you would expect to be able to pay off that level of debt. They have some good news. They had a 3% increase in total company revenue last quarter. Their direct-to-consumer segment saw an increase in 38% of 38% in 2023 in the third quarter. Paramount Plus had a pretty heavy revenue growth by about 61%. But again, there are losses. They reported a net loss for the 9 months ended September 30th of about $1 billion, $855 million. They reported a net loss from continuing operations in the second quarter of 2023 of $299 million. So their losses appear to be growing. The company's filmed entertainment segment experienced a 39% drop in revenue year over year. So their filmed entertainment division is not doing as well as it was before. Also, there was a drop in theatrical revenue by 70%. 70, and an 8% drop in ad revenue in the filmed entertainment segment. They recorded $697 million in programming charges. These are losses in connection with the integration of Paramount Plus and Showtime. So recently they sold Simon & Schuster for about $1.6 billion. And so a lot of people expect that the company is going to have a lot of trouble going forward. So BET has a big issue. Their daddy's wallet is not as big as it used to be, and the company that appeared to be sort of this behemoth that was able to do a lot in media is really struggling. What's interesting though is if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the Redstone family is part of the Jewish community, which just does a really powerful job in terms of using wealth as a way to pursue their agenda. Right now, a lot of Ivy League universities are being accused of anti-Semitism, which pretty much right now that kind of means that you just disagree with Israel's policy of blowing up, 100 Palestinians for every one Jewish person that gets hurt, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't like the whole, I'm not going to get into this too much, but if you know the history, right, there was a whole thing with Hamas and the attack and everything, and I didn't like that. That didn't make me comfortable. But at the same time, literally, I think that about 1,600 people got hurt on one side, and then there's like 17,000 on the other side, mostly women and children. And so there are people that disagree with that. I'm one of them. I don't like that policy at all. I don't like the fact that we're funding this. I think that that's highly inappropriate. But what's going on right now, if you haven't been paying attention, is Ivy League universities are being pressed by billionaires and wealthy people who are basically using economic power to pursue their agenda. I'm not mad about it. We talk extensively about Powernomics. We do Powernomics training every Wednesday. And I want you to understand you can't have power in America without money. That money is power. Their ability to write a check is allowing them to have liberties that you will never have until we learn how to get our economics together. Right. So as Black people, if we want to pursue our agenda, if we want our politicians to serve us, if we want to get the things that we deserve, then we're going to have to harness our economic power. OK, now do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'm not going to keep you guys for very, very long. Later on, I will give some profit alerts. You might have gotten a text this morning of a profit alert. If you're not getting those where I'm telling you guys about stocks that I like, things I'm invested in, feel free to text the word stock to 31996. Text stock to 31996. Also, I'm going to be doing a 30-day financial consciousness boot camp that starts January 1st. We're going to go 30 straight days, and we're going to work through a book that I have called 30 Days to Black Wealth and Power. It's a reflective journal where you're going to literally journal. I'm going to ask you key questions that will help you elevate your economic consciousness and set yourself up for the future. And so if you'd like to join this class, the fee is $299, but you can actually get in free if you just buy a copy of the book. You can get a copy of my book at drboycebooks.com. So go to drboycebooks.com. Look, just search, the search box is at the top. Search for 30 Days to Wealth and Power. That's the name of the book. And get a copy. And then once you get a copy, we will let you into the class for free. So you go to drboycebooks.com, get a copy of the book. That's the first thing. Secondly, the class is going to be hosted on our social media platform, b1nation.us. b1nation.us, not .com. b1nation.us is where we gather. It's a gathering spot for B1 people. Complete freedom of speech. We don't censor anybody as long as you're not being destructive or harmful to other people. We pretty much let you do whatever you want. So if you'd like to connect with B1 people on a social media platform that's controlled by us, just go to b1nation.us. And also don't forget this podcast is on Spotify and Apple, so you can look up my name if you want to find it. Now, here's the thing about Paramount. Paramount is a pretty powerful entertainment brand still. I have a lot of respect for what they have accomplished. I think they have a lot of ownership when it comes to CBS Sports, things like that. They are in a reflection of just there's this book that I have the Black Business School students read called How the Jews, an Empire of Their Own, How the Jews Invented Hollywood. And it's a great book if you want to learn how a community, an impoverished community, a marginalized community can come together and create opportunities for themselves. I think it's pretty extraordinary. And what's interesting is that right now, Terrence Howard, did anybody see Terrence Howard is suing the Creative Arts Agency, which is a big, powerful agency within Hollywood. They represent a lot of the biggest stars out here, and I just found that really fascinating that he's taking them on. I think that's going to be kind of an epic battle. I don't know. I don't think he's going to win this, but here's the thing, right? CAA came out of this sort of movement by that community to build itself up as as an economic empire that could shape its own destiny, right? So again, I'm not mad about CA. CA represents people like Steven Spielberg and Selma Hayek, and let me see if I can find the list. I don't find some list. I'm looking for the black people though. I don't see black people on the list. I think it's Zendaya. I think Zendaya may be signed with CAA. So a lot of big stars, black and white and otherwise, are signed with CAA. Let me see, hip hop artists. Beyonce, Kanye West, they used to have, I guess they used to represent people like Beyonce, Kanye West, Cardi B, ASAP Rocky, Lil Baby, Miguel, Her, Logic, Lil Nas X, Q-Tip, Doja Cat, Lil Wayne, Playboy Cardi, Wu-Tang Clan. The list goes on and on, right? So they represent all these people, and Terrence Howard is suing them right now because he feels like they screwed him, and they probably did. Well, how about this? I'm going to say that it sounds like they probably did, in the sense that they were representing the studios and representing the actors at the same time. So they would form these packages where they would get the actors to sign on to a project. And he felt that if you're representing me, you should be representing me. You should be representing the people that I'm supposed to be negotiating with. And to some extent, you can understand how that might be considered a breach of fiduciary duty. But at the same time, it seems like that's kind of how things work in Hollywood. And again, he who has the gold makes the rules. So the fact that they have the wealth and the power, they get to make the rules. So what I visualize, what I dream of, is a space where we have the wealth and the power and we make the rules, right? Because economics is a team sport. I think it's very, very important for us to understand this. Sometimes we forget it. Sometimes we really think that we can show up without a nickel in our pocket, without any backing whatsoever, and really have real power. And black power does not exist without black economics. Do you understand? Do you agree with me? Do you hear what I'm saying? Black power does not exist without black economics. So I encourage you to get that out of your head and figure out how to get your economics right. That's what's going to put you ahead. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to head on out. I don't have much to say about this. I just think it'll be interesting to see what happens with Paramount. BET, I kind of wish BET understood what they were doing to the community a little bit more. I think they do understand it. That guy who worked at the guy who started dating the white girl at on the Today Show, you know what I'm talking about. The brother, what's the brother's name? He's an news anchor. I forgot his name. Kind of got light skinned and green eyes, and he started dating the white girl, and then they fired them both. Amy, I think her name was Amy or something, or Becky or whatever. Anyway, say his name in the chat so I can remember, because I'm TJ Holmes. Thank you, Vic. I appreciate it. I couldn't remember his name. TJ Holmes. One day I was driving down the road and I had just written an article about BET and explained how BET was harming the black community. At that time, TJ Holmes was with BET. And I got a call and I answered the phone, and it said, hey, Dr. Watkins, this is TJ Holmes. And I was like, TJ Holmes, with BET. I was like, oh, hey, how you doing, man? Nice to meet you. And so I don't know how I think it was weird. He got my name from Don Lemon. And I was like, I didn't, Don Lemon has my number. Like, why would Don Lemon doesn't like me? But anyway, so TJ and I talked, and I remember that conversation was really interesting. I like TJ. He was a very nice guy. It's the only time I ever talked to him. And one thing he said that was interesting was he said that when you wrote that article about BET, he said it was almost like you were in our meetings. He said it was like you were. It's like you might. He said I was thinking, like, does this guy have a spy camera or something or whatever that tells him like what we're talking about? And he said I just wanted to talk to you about it directly because you hit the nail right on the head. And I said, yeah, well, my PhD is in finance and I understand money and I trust my instincts. And my instincts, when I see things in a certain angle, I'm like, and I think about it for a long time, and then I just trust whatever message God puts in my head, because I know that it's back with a whole lot, with almost 30 years of economic thinking, right? And I say, yeah, I see what's going on. This comes straight out of slavery. This comes straight out of black exploitation that's been existing, for 200-300 years. There's nothing new about what BET is doing to the black community. There's nothing new about it. They've always had well-backed, financially supported white institutions or white power brokers who utilize, influential black people, or platforms that connected to black people, to use their economic power to pursue an agenda that's not beneficial to blacks. And what we have to do is we got to get out from under people's thumbs. We got to stop thinking that we can get a ride from anybody who offers us one. Right? Do you understand what I mean? Like, we would take money from anybody and everybody, because we're so desperate to be accepted by these other people. And I said, we got to get past this idea that somehow being accepted or integrated or getting money from the oppressor is somehow a come up. So sometimes it ain't a come up. Sometimes it's a come down. Sometimes you think you went to level 4, you really went down to level -5, right? You think you're better off, but really you're worse off. And these deals of the devil show themselves all the time. You saw it with Diddy. Diddy's, before Diddy had his current situation, he had this other situation where he was out complaining about the vodka company that he did the deal with, and he sounded like an employee. He sounded like a disgruntled worker. Like they ain't treating me right on this job, and they should have gave me more money, and they should have did something. And I'm like, but you're supposed to be a partner, man. Like, what are you talking about? But I don't know if he was a partner, because again, you sound like a middle manager, and I think that we have to understand what real power looks like, and understand that real power, it ain't flashy, it's not shiny. It's not the stuff that you're going to see in these hip hop magazines. Real power really is like that dude that owns his own little plumbing business that he's going to leave to his children, where he's learning, he's grinding every day. He's becoming a better businessman every day. Maybe his wife works with him. He's training his kids to work with him too. And at some point, he's going to build an empire like a Sam Walton or something like that. Real power are those people that really truly control their own economic destiny, even if they don't have a ton of money, but they get up every day with the peace of mind of knowing that nobody's telling me what to do. I am not bought. I am not owned. Ain't nobody controlling nothing up in this house except for me. And I can tell you, in my house, that's what happens. When I come and talk to y'all every day, there's nobody that tells me that I'm allowed to do it. There's nobody telling me what I'm allowed to say. There's nobody telling me what I can and cannot do. I just go out and I do it, right? And so I think that, generally speaking, if you want to talk about freedom, the freedom starts with the economics, but it starts with the right economics. And I'm gonna tell you, those white folks, they can write those big fat checks. They can write checks bigger than I could write. They write checks bigger than you can write. They write checks bigger than most of us can write. But unfortunately, out of common sense, that check does not come without strings attached, right? So you got to ask yourself, okay, before I take money from this billionaire or this millionaire or this major corporation, am I prepared to abandon my own agenda and pursue their agenda? Am I prepared to leave my car on the side of the road and ride on their bus? Do you understand? Am I prepared to let go of what I believe in to represent what they believe in? And unfortunately, as Black people in America, your interests are so diverged from the rest of society that it is crucial that those of you that have any form of Black consciousness whatsoever, that you understand the importance of some level of economic independence and sovereignty and your ability to make those decisions. Right now, for example, and it happens all the time. Economic warfare happens all the time. Happens to you every day when they tell you what you got to do, and it's different from what you want to do. That's economic warfare. You're a conquered people. You're economically conquered. Because not only do they take all your assets, but they won't let you accumulate those assets. And then also they don't even teach you how to accumulate the assets. But it's your fault partially too. You have to take accountability because you send your kids to go learn from the very people who don't want them to advance. You teach your kids to go to these public schools where they're not educating the kids. They're not teaching them how to build businesses. They're not teaching them how to build a community. They're not teaching them how to build wealth. They're teaching them how to go become employees if they're lucky. They're not teaching them to be wives. They're teaching them to be side chicks. They're teaching your kids to be economic side chicks. That's what they're teaching them to be. Like, just be there in case we need you, but we're not going to invest in you on a significant level. We're not really going to give you any true power. We're not going to give you any true leverage. We're going to simply have you there as an asset. And then you're going to be so desperate, so starved out, so struggling, so ignorant, so blind, deaf, and dumb that when we come along and offer you even a crumb, you're going to be like, thank you so much, because without you, I couldn't survive. I think that's wrong. I think that's fundamentally wrong. I think that's very harmful. I think that's something we should speak up against every chance that we get. So basic ideas, very simple ideas that we talk about in the Black Business School. Number one, every Black child should learn how to start a business by the age of 12. They should be as good at starting a business as they are playing basketball, playing football, and going to cheerleading camp. It costs you less to teach your child how to start a business than it does for you to send them to football camp. It costs less than it costs to send you to cheerleading camp. It costs less than it costs you to send that child to basketball camp. So why are we not sending our children to camps to learn economics? Because that's going to be the game they're going to play for life. Football, basketball is going to end when they get about 18 years old. So number two, every child should know the fundamentals of real estate by the age of 12. Every child should know the difference between owning something and renting something. Every child should know that the majority of the people, they go from poor to middle class. They do that through real estate. They do that through home ownership. Ownership is the key to power. It's not your income. It's not how nice your car is. It's not how nice your apartment is. It's what you actually own. The third thing is every child should own stock from the day that they're born. They should literally buy. You can do little things like our $5 a day investing plan, which is a very powerful solution that will take any family out of poverty in less than a decade. It'll put any family into prosperity in a decade or two if you're consistent, and if you invest consistently in the S&P 500, your wealth will grow. That's it. Very, very basic ideas. Everybody should do this. This is what's going to be the key to your freedom. Here's the other thing too, is you're not just giving your kids money and your family money. You're giving your family something that's more valuable than money. Like, how valuable is your peace of mind? How do you put a price tag on getting away from racial trauma that you experience on the job every day? What kind of price tag do you put on your physical and mental health? Your ability to form healthy relationships, your ability as a Black man to make your woman feel financially secure. What price do you put on that? What price do you put on having your daughter be economically independent so that she doesn't have to go depend on somebody to pay her bills, or go do something very desperate to pay her? What price tag can you put on that? There is no price tag for that. So this is what I believe. So I talk about Paramount today in terms of them being sold and their financial struggles, not because I'm here to complain all day about what white people own and we don't. I'm not doing that. I don't care. I'm not mad at Paramount. What I am talking about is, number one, there's the economic lesson in terms of understanding what's going on here. But then number two, there's a conversation that needs to be had about what Black ownership really looks like. BET ain't it. BET is not an example of Black ownership. BET is an example of white ownership. BET is not an example. There's nothing on BET, in my view, that really exemplifies the importance of Black people truly owning assets. An example of ownership might be Quayle TV, Quayle, Kweli, Quayle TV. I met the founder of Quayle TV, who happens to be the cousin of my event planner. Wonderful young woman, started Quayle TV, Kweli. She started Quayle TV when she came out of college, if I'm not mistaken, and she grinds on Quayle every single day, busts her butt, does a wonderful revenue share, and has hundreds, if not thousands, of Black-owned movies on her platform, and it runs just like Netflix. So if you want to support something that's truly Black-owned, take a look at Quayle TV, Kweli TV. We put some of our movies on there: Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Black Love Blueprint, the movies that we've made. We put a lot of our films on Quayle TV. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for that authentic Black ownership. Another example of Black ownership: We Buy Black. Sharif Abdul Malik, my buddy, love this guy, known him for years, have so much respect for him. Sharif Abdul Malik, one of the most powerful Black men in America, because Sharif Abdul Malik was a guy who went to Howard University, and he learned to start businesses from his parents. He didn't learn it at Howard. He said, I went to Howard, I went to the business school thinking that the business school students could tell me how to run my business better. He said, I got over there and I was shocked. I was stunned. He said, and I said, why were you stunned? He said, I was stunned because most of the business school students at Howard don't even know how to start a business. All they know how to do is go work for white people. That's all they know. That's what they try. So, but if you look at the history of why many institutions were created, it's because they were created to create servants. They were created to train Black people to go serve other people. That's what they were designed to do. But Sharif Abdul Malik, We Buy Black, I have no doubt, I'm 100% sure that their revenue is in the millions, and he's getting it done, and he's killing it. I love this. I have so much respect for him. Lamar Tyler, another guy, Traffic Sales and Profit, millions in revenue, creating more Black millionaires than anybody I've ever seen. I'm speaking at their event. They have these TSP events. I'm speaking there in January. So much respect for Lamar Tyler. See, these are your heroes, y'all. These are your titans. These are your heavy hitters out here. It ain't these shiny Negroes on TV. It ain't Diddy. It ain't all these little loudmouth rappers, who talk a good game, but next thing you know, they got to sit next to Clive Davis to really be doing anything for the Black community, right? And only God knows how they're serving Clive Davis behind closed doors. Nobody knows, right? To me, the people that I'm looking at, the people I love and admire, the ones I'm really looking at and saying, go Black man, go Black woman, go, are the people that I see in the community that are really working hard and getting it done. And there's so many out there. Constance Carter, D1. I mean, just you have so many amazing people that should be celebrated, and they should be put ahead. Dr. George C. Frazier, I can keep going. That should be put. Queen Afua should be put ahead of whatever you see on TV. All right. So anyway, I'm done, guys. I thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. I have something called What Dr. Boyce is Buying, where I buy stocks and I send a list of my stocks to my students every Monday. And if you want to go take a look and do a free trial, just go to drboycestocks.com. That's drboycestocks.com. It's not investing advice, but these are assets that I dig up that I believe are great 3 to 5 year investments. I just found one the other day, or actually 5 more that I put on the list, but I told you guys what my top 2 or 3 are. So feel free to go to drboycestocks.com if you want to take a look. And last but not least, if you want to take a look at our business school for children, if you have kids and you want to get them ready for the future and you want them to be economic soldiers for the next generation, take a look at our Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program. It is absolutely extraordinary. Christmas is coming. It's a great time to get your kid ready for the rest of life, your grandchild, etc. So feel free to take a look at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. In fact, the program is so good that we guarantee that once your child goes through the programs and they take the self-study exams to make sure they know the material and they get their certificate, your child will have a financial literacy level that will exceed the average college-educated adult. It will exceed the average college-educated adult. If you do not feel that way, then you can reach out to our support team. We will give you your money back. That's how good we are at what we do. So go to blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com if you'd like to take a look. I hope you'll give it a try. It'll make a huge difference for your kids and your grandkids. So the solutions are out there. We just need to implement them. They don't cost much. It costs far less than football camp, basketball camp, cheerleading camp. The difference is that this camp will get your kid ready for life, whereas this other stuff is only temporary. So this is the game plan. This is how we're succeeding. All right, so hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll check back in with you guys a little bit later. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, 10, 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.